Hey, Shalom, Shalom Israel. First and foremost, we'd like to give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakah, Kodash. Our honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to your brothers in the highways and the byways, preaching and teaching this word in sincerity and in truth. This is your brother Shapal from James Jamaica Camp with a quick lesson. And this lesson is based upon, as you can see on the screen, Acts 14 and verse 22, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Now, the key thing we want to get out of this, man, is exhorting brothers to continue in the faith. And what that means, ultimately, and before I get into that, I'm slack here, I'm just doing a walk and talk on the street, and you're going to hear the elements, so slack here in advance. Alright, so one of the things what we basically can control, right, because we can't control, the choice for us to continue is ultimately up to Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, not up to Yahweh. What we can do on our end, is to push this ministry out there, so that the elect can be sealed, right? Once the elect is sealed, all Israel, man, is going to be great, and the thing with that is, when your story is going to be written, and because as I said before, man, we don't know who is chosen. We know that we are called, but we do not know if we're chosen. All right, now when you're called, we need to do the things where basically are going to make us chosen. If we're not chosen, nevertheless, your story, what is your story is going to be written about? Are you going to be the man that came into this truth, right? And then you choose some female, or, whenever you reach at the last end, right? When you reach at the last end, you find out that, look, choose some female, or through the cares of this world, you just went out back, and deny Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, right? Is that because stories are going to be written, of the elect and what we went through, just as stories were written of the disciples, man, and Yahweh Shai, right? See? So the thing is, what we're supposed to look for now the records have been, we're living what is going to be written of us, in the kingdom, man. When all these nations, start to learn about the elect, or learn about what these men went through, but what is your story is going to be written about, because the thing is, man, we have endured a lot, in this faith, and even brothers who just come in the faith, in this faith, man, have endured a lot, because we're under the curses. So nevertheless, right, for once we're in this truth so long, we reach to the point where the things that we were talking about for the years to come, have now surfaced, and we are looking at the finish line, man. We don't know when it's gonna be, but we have given the spiritual eyes to see, right? We're given the scriptures as a compass, for us to navigate, and for us to know what happens next, when the Lord is going to make his entry, we have not a clue. We know that, okay, so World War III, the mark of the beast, which is our fighting microchip, must be implemented before the Third World War. So we use these things for basically gauge, what is to come, So whenever we do these things, we do it through the sincerity, right, of the scripture itself. So the first scripture that we want to get is from Ezekiel 33 and verse 13. Start at verse 13. All right, and it reads, "So when I shall say to the righteous that he shall surely live, if he trusts to his own righteousness." All right, let me read that again. Isaiah 33 and verse 12. "So when I shall say to the righteous that he shall surely live, if he trusts to his own righteousness and committed iniquity, all his righteousness shall not be remembered, right? But for his iniquity that he had committed." right, I say what? He shall die for it. Saying so, basically, what scripture says that look, we've reached this farming into this truth, and falling out of this truth, even though we have no control, but we're still supposed to practice the fear and exercise that with the mercies of Yahweh Hashem Shai, praying, fasting, and asking, and doing what is required of us. If we fall out of this thing, man, right, or righteousness that we have done for so long is just going to be forgotten. All right, it's going to be forgotten, man, because now is the time where we should have really buckle down, man, and turning up the heat. See me? Now is the time where we really need for buckle down, turning up this thing, man, because we can see the things. Imagine when the fire was blazing and back in the early 2000s and such, right? Coming up, the fire was blazing. We have the elders, the apostles. You have the elders on them coming down, and they haven't seen much, right? We only know that Third World War, Russia against America and world NATO, China involved, Israel and such. We knew these things, man, but we couldn't see it. But the fire was there blazing, right? And can you imagine now when we're seeing all of these things, man? Brothers wanted us to be lukewarm and nonchalant. No, man, the fire is supposed to be even higher, So if you wither down, man, and get lukewarm and get watered down and tired, as soon as you reach the finish line, man, where we can see the line, then you follow the truth, then you're all what you've done from back then up to now is going to be forgotten, man. It's going to be forgotten. And as we speak about the legacy, what legacy is that? A man that endureth until the last breath, and as he reach the last breath, him give up. And that's a legacy of a fool, man. And we don't want to be that. We don't want to be that. Alright, so continue. Let's get another scripture. This is Hebrews 10 and verse. Alright, this is alright. Let me start at verse 34. Hebrews 10 verse 34. It said, "For ye had compassion of me in my bonds, and took joyful, right, the spoiling of your goods, knowing in yourself that ye have in heaven a better and enduring substance, right? Cast not away therefore your confidence, which hath great recompense of reward, right? For ye have need of patience, that after ye have done the will of Yahweh, ye might receive the promise," right? Saying so, we continue to do the will, man. Regardless, we continue to do what is the will. Go out there in the highways and the byways, teach this truth, man. Feed the sheep of the Yahweh Hashem Shai. And the apostle gave a decree, through the Spirit, that we're supposed to do. We're supposed to do even a video a week, 3 videos per week, but at least make it a video a week, man. Because we know times are getting hard and harsh, and brother spirit are really draining, right? So the will is for go out there and do the bidding, man, which is feed the sheep of the Yahweh Hashem Shai, man, with those videos, and charity and all of that. Cast not away therefore, that verse 5, Hebrews 10 and verse 35. Cast not away therefore your confidence, which has great recompense of reward. For ye have need of patience, that after ye have done the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, ye might receive the promise, right? Which is the kingdom of heaven, man. So once we continue to do this thing, then the kingdom of heaven is going to be for us. Because the Lord cannot lie. Alright, so you can bet your life on that, man. Right. Verse 37, so for yet a little while, and he that shall come will come, and will not tarry. Saying so, even though it seems like a lengthy time, Scripture says, a day in the eyes of the Lord, 1,000 years in the eyes of the Lord is like a day. For roughly paraphrase Scripture. So we know that, look, to us you know what I mean, and to the times and to the things that's happening, it might seem it's not yet gonna come, you know, whatever it may be, right? But the scripture say, it will not tarry, it will come, right? So now the just shall live by faith, right? But if any man draw back, and this is the point, my soul shall have no pleasure in him, right? So just as scripture we read before, saying that, look, if a man discontinue from his righteousness and start to do wickedness, right, all his righteousness that he had done is going to be forgotten, right? The scripture is saying the same thing here, man, right? So the just shall live by faith, but if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him, right? So the Lord not going to have pleasure in a man where basically reach at the end and pull back, you know what I mean? And the Lord, if you're being lukewarm, man, right, and nonchalant with the Heavenly Father thing, man, you will be cast out, you know, because now it's straighten up time. Now the Lord is building soldiers, man, right, and working on the minds of brothers. Spirit is one spirit ricocheting through all of the camps, man. So the Lord is gathering his army, man, right, both in the heavens and here on the earth, man, which is the elect, you know, saying, and the ones that have faith and the one that believe and the one that do his will, man, will be chosen, right? So it's verse 39. So we are not of them that draw back unto perdition, but of them that believe in the saving of the soul, right? So the believers that have faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, right? We, right, Lord's will, I'm a part of that number. I'm saying we, but you know, who knows? Saying so. That's what we're waiting for, man. But, you know, hey, brothers, just continue to do the work, the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. And, you know, keep pressing, you know what I mean, believe, you know, keep doing these videos, you know what I mean, pray, fast, you know, do what is necessary for the Lord, right, to look down on you and have mercy, man, because we need a protection in that time, definitely, you know. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Kodash. Of honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to your brothers in the highways and the byways, preaching, teaching his word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom.